Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to All Things Love. Shout out to all of you beautiful, amazing people. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Leave me a high vibrational comment, and let's talk about love. Well, excuse me. This story is, excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. Now, this story is very, very sensitive, so I do warn you that it is probably triggering, but I wanted to kind of shed some light and to touch upon the story that I saw online. Now I don't remember the guy's name that I saw it on, but if I can find it, I'll post it so you can go and check out the whole link for yourself. Now this is in no way, form, or fashion to bash anyone, to ridicule anyone, to make light of anyone's situation. It is just to bring enlightenment and to just, keep us informed about the things that's going on in these relationships and in life, especially when it comes to love. So it talks about this young lady being in this kind of very, very abusive relationship. Um, I guess in hindsight, I guess she can recall where she first made her mistake. But she ended up being involved with this guy that was very, very abusive to her. And it started off as something kind of mild, and then the triggering point came when she found out that her husband really was on the down low. And when it first started was because he wanted to be with her intimately, anally. And whew, and if you really have to hear her story because this is a real person here. And so she realized that she's dealing with someone here who really doesn't know, who they are. And it's such a sensitive thing because the things that he put her through, all because he needed to deal with his own inner demons. And like she stressed that the whole world was on the outside looking in, and from the outside looking in, they had the perfect life. He had a good job. He was a very, very good provider for her. But she feels like he did all those things, went bought a nice, beautiful house. She had the nice car. She had everything because he worked for it. But at what cost? All of those things were coming at a very, very high cost for her, as well as for her children. Now, I believe she already had one previous daughter, and she ended up having three children by her husband. And as he introduced this other lifestyle to her, she thought that maybe, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my husband. I'm his wife. What we do. And the guy here who was interviewing her, he didn't hold back. He asked her those tough questions because that was a tough situation for her to be in. And so, he was asking her, he was asking her, well, why didn't you leave? And she said, well, where was I supposed to go? Here I am. I have four children, and I have children, and all these things like that. So I really didn't have anyone to go to. And he would get to the point where she was trying to keep peace in the house because when she would not allow him to, have her that particular way, then he would get real angry and mean towards her, towards the kids, and the children would be, the children would be afraid. And so as her way of protecting them, she would just give in just to make him happy. But she didn't understand, and so she started, feeling like, this can't be normal, is it? She was questioning, is this what all the marriages are? Or, surely all the marriages are not going this way. And, she said she would be so relieved when he would, when they would be intimate, the normal way, so to speak. And she would be so happy, but she said it never fails. He wants this again. And she said a lot of times when she wouldn't want to be with him like that, he would become abusive and he would just, take what he wanted. A lot of times he would abuse her, and She would be so bruised that she would have to stay hidden. And so she said it just went on and on and on, and she just realized that she was not going to make it out of this situation because she couldn't handle it. And it even got to the point where he also wanted her to perform on her, you know, what they call it. Y'all, I'm talking about they got a word for it. Did he say tag him? Plug him. Plug him. It could have been plug him or tag him. And she said, yeah. She said he brought it up, and she said, I was just, you know, she said, I humored him. You know, he was asking me, would that be something that I would be interested in doing for him? And she said, I'm thinking like, oh, Lord, it's been got worse. And so she said, well, you know, sure. And she said he wasted no time for going on Amazon and ordering this. And so she said as she was doing this, she was saying that this can't be his first time because, look, y'all, I told you it was going to be graphic, all right? She said, look, it wasn't his first rodeo ride, all right? So she said as she was doing this to her husband, the father of her children, she just felt so disgusted and so lost and so just nasty and defiled, because that was defiling for her, because she didn't want to be doing this to her husband. And she said that didn't happen as often as the anal did, but she said it was just not normal for her. It was so many times during their marriage where she was finding out that he was cheating on her with men and women. And she said she remembered that when she was a little girl, because they grew up in the same neighborhood, the corner store, somebody had robbed that woman, and they really, really did a number on this woman. And she come to find out it was the guy that she married, y'all. And she said she began to think about it. She said because she remembered when she saw that woman, she said it was an old woman. She said she remembered seeing how beat up she was, and she was like, wow, this is an animal who did this. And she said she see it because that's how he was to her. She said she remembered when she was a young girl and he was younger, and because I think he had just got out of prison. He used to, when she was younger, he used to say stuff like, hey, little sis, you all right? Sis, you know, if anybody messing with you, let me know. She said he used to make her feel like, you know what I'm saying, he's going to protect her. But what I feel like happened is that I feel like he's a couple of years older than her, but still he was younger. I feel like he was violated. And I'm not trying to justify, but that's usually what happens. Because she said that she was looking at him like he's confused. She said, I think that this man really is confused because she didn't have anybody to talk to. But look, y'all, when she did go talk to someone, because like I said, on the outside looking in, it looked like it was a good marriage. They would go to church every Sunday. The children, they were actively in the church. And she said when she got so tired of him just being physically abusive to her, she went to the pastor. And she said the pastor, y'all, prayed for them and sent her home with that man. He didn't talk to the man. He didn't counsel them. He prayed for them. And she said, you know, the abuse would let up for maybe a month. She said, but he'd go right back to it. She said she know when he's getting like that, it's because, you know, he wants his way. And she's realizing not only is he confused about his sexuality and what he wants, you know what I'm saying, he's at a breaking point here. So she feels like he really just married her just to cover up his secret. Because this is what she said. She said, I feel like because she left, the way she finally got away from him was almost through dying. Because he was refusing to let her go because she knew so much about his hidden secrets here. And I feel like this man, been in and out of the system, and I feel like this person was violated as a young man. And you know how sometimes when you're the victim, you're either going to become the protector or the prey, the predator. I feel like I feel like he was determined not to ever be a victim again, so he started victimizing other people. I feel like this person had an evil spirit within him because of the things that he was subjected to, and no one stood a chance with this person. It's almost like he hated himself for being that way, yet he couldn't control that desire or that seed that had been planted. And so he was making her life a living hell. So she eventually got away from him, and I believe she got a restraining order on him or something. I believe she got a restraining order, or she ended up moving away. Or I don't even recall how she moved away, because some of the stuff was so intense it was just heartbreaking to me. But even when she got away, y'all, he came to where she was at, and he did not want her to leave him. And his reasoning was, we're married. You know, we can't get married. Nope, we can't get married. We're married already. We ain't going to get no divorce. And she said she knew that she was going to die. She knew it. She just knew it because he wasn't supposed to be there. And she said he got in the house, and she didn't even know how he got in the house, y'all. The way he brutally beat her, y'all. The way he brutally beat her. But even though he did that to her, she still begged him to let her get some help because she knew she was about to die. And he allowed her to get in the car and drive herself to the hospital. And he ran off and he left. And what she did, she went back and got her children. And then she went and called the police. And that's how they arrested him and sent him to prison. So I feel like what's going on here, and it's not in every situation, this is just shedding the light on the story that I had came across. I do believe that some relationships are absolutely beautiful and amazing, but you know, there's a lot of relationships that are not like that because you're dealing with folks' inner demons here. You know, they suffer childhood issues and things that make lasting impacts on someone's life, and you never know the demon that is brewing in the person that you are calling yourself joining with. So I feel like this is a wake-up call, but it's also an eye-opener that and like she said, she never saw the signs. And I'm telling you, it's such a sad story because when she finally did get away from this one, I think she married someone else just to find out that he had been doing something to her child, impregnated the child, and got rid of it. So imagine this. And so now she's on herself feeling like, because she did share the story that she recalled growing up, and when she grew up, she was around a lot of gay people. And she don't know if she attracted this, but it's like she got out of one. I mean, man, she barely escaped. I'm not even going to say barely, so I canceled that out. There's no such thing. It's just that she had a mighty protecting force supporting her for her to tell her story. But check it out, y'all. Like I say, if that wasn't bad enough, then she had to deal with the fact that her child had been enduring some things. You know what I'm saying? While she going to work, she thinking she got somebody, but man, imagine that, y'all. And yet that woman's still sitting there telling a story. I see a strong, brave soul, y'all. Everybody don't bounce back from that. I think the ending of that story was that she ended up getting married to a polygamous relationship. Wow, y'all. That's a lot, ain't it? Like I say, once again, this is in no way, form, or fashion to belittle or berate or make light of anybody's situation. It's to bring awareness, because you never really know who you are getting involved with if you're not really paying attention. If you are single and you have your peace, honey, you are the one that's winning. Now, I ain't saying relationships can't work, but I'm just saying it seems like it's so easy to get in those relationships, but once you get in it, sometimes it's so hard to get out, and sometimes you may not even make it out of these relationships. She's made it out of that relationship because she has a testimony. She has a story to tell, but it's also telling you how these men are living these double lives. Now, it's not a part about your preference. That's everybody's right. No one cares. You know, you want what you want, but it's not fair to be deceptive and force that on someone else. And I feel like she got her somebody that forced something on her life, and as a result, I feel like even though she's sitting there with her head held high and she's being strong, I still see a broken soul. I see that. I just see that that's a lot to go through, and I just feel like she wants to be protected. She wants to be surrounded, but I don't know, maybe she just needs to be alone and work on herself. And I don't even know how old this was, but like I said, it got my attention, and I was trying so hard to move away from it, but it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, wow, she lived to tell her story. That's amazing. But just think, some of our sisters don't get a chance to tell their stories. Someone else is telling their story for them. It's time for us to practice more self-love, be more intuitive, be more in the now, be more in the present, pertaining to our surroundings. Man, once again, it ain't about nobody's preference. It's about the deception of it. Give someone the opportunity to decide if that's something that they want in their life. That's not fair. But y'all, I told you this was going to be a deep one. I'm going to find that link, and I'm going to find that story, and I'm going to put in the link below in the description box. And you guys check this out. It's a wake-up call for the ladies. It's like, who can you trust? And look, this is her husband. The husband, man, she didn't even have nobody to confide in. She carried that burden. That takes a strong soul, though, y'all. That's a lot. And I'm not even telling you, man, I'm not even doing the story justice. That's why I'm going to make sure I leave the link, because it's just so unfair. It's just not fair. It's just so unfair. And then I was watching another topic, another story, and it's kind of the same. I look at this younger guy. He out of everybody in the world, he was like in his early 20s. He falls for a single mother with 3 children. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but I see why he did that, because he ended up unaliving his gay partner. So I feel like this, he married her because it was safe for him. It made him look like a family guy. It gave him the image, because most of these gay guys, and not all, especially when they're of prestige and they're really ashamed and they should not be, they're going to do things like that. But a man that's confident, or a woman, but we're talking about it's different now. And now we're talking about the masculines being down low. Then they use that as cover-ups here. So that's the only reason why. And so when the police gave the second story I'm telling you about, finally gave him an opportunity to tell his wife goodbye, because they finna handcuff him. He had to tell her within a few minutes why he's being handcuffed. Is because he'd been lovers with his best friend. Y'all, it was the best friend, and the best friend was openly gay. Now, look, I've always been taught that birds of a feather flock together. If my man, my husband, is not gay, and it ain't no knocking to nobody, you ain't got no business hanging with no gay man. Okay? So they was pretending that they were just good friends. And the whole freaking time, y'all, they love us. All right? This is how he has to explain to his wife. They taking family vacations together. The kids calling him uncle. And the whole time within that little time, because the police stood right there, and he didn't have no privacy. The police stood right there, Why he had to tell his wife why they finna haul his ass off in handcuffs, it's because he's sorry. He can't change nothing. It is what it is. They've been messing around. He's sorry, and he killed him. And she said the words came so fast, I thought he was joking. Oh, my God. Imagine digesting that. You done married this man around you and your 3 children, and the children that got grown. They used to him now. He married her when he was a young guy, so he was covering that up. Down low men, y'all. And I know this is not anything new, but what it is new is that some of these marriages are in these down low relationships, and they're putting those women through hell just to guard their secret, and they're taking it off on the women because they can't be open with it because they care what other people think. But the majority of the gay people don't. We're in a time where you can express yourself, so there's no reason to do that. I respect everybody. I don't care. I feel like to each his own. That's what I'm on. But when you decide to take your frustrations out on me because you can't live in your truth, then it becomes a problem. We don't deserve dishonesty, ladies, even for the men, but we're talking about the down low men, all right? Let me know what you think in the comments below, y'all. Thank you guys so much for your support. What do you think about this? Isn't this stuff it's sad, because imagine the damage that's done to her children from witnessing this. And it's like she jumped right up out of the frying pan right into the fire, man. There's some wicked generational curses and things like that, but all things love, all in the name of love. She thought she was doing the right thing because she loved her husband. At least she thought. Maybe she was trauma bonding. She felt like she was trauma bonding to him anyway. That's the first situation, but it's just the same. The first woman didn't even have no clue. At least he wasn't abusing her, though. They was the happiest couple. Like I say, she wasn't. At least she was. But see, ain't that something? And this is not a racist thing, because the one who was beating on his wife was a black man. But the white man was living happily ever after and happy and everything else. Ain't that something? It's like the black men feel like they have to live up to a certain, they always have to, they feel like they're going to be considered weak or something like that. It's like, man, isn't that something? It's the black man that was abusing the white, but the white man was just as loving. Wow. That's something to think about. Wow, y'all. All right, y'all, let me end it because I can keep on talking and talking and talking. It makes you really, really think. It makes you really want to take your time to really get to know someone. Why should you be in a hurry to do anything now? So really, all those relationships you was in, ladies and even gentlemen, it probably is one of those situations where your rejection really is your protection here. And I'm going to end it there. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. This is All Things Love.